Exceptional Gabe here, back with another edition of Exceptionally Animated, where we chat with some of the greatest voice actors and animators in the industry. And today I've got the lovely Jocelyne Loewen. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, I'm so delighted to be here. Thank you for having me, Gabe.
Oh, you're welcome. So, if you didn't know, believe it or not, you have been, since I've started doing this podcast, the most requested person to have on my podcast.
No. Oh my goodness. That just fills my heart with joy. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
And I don't blame them because you have some of just the cutest little voice for your characters like I've ever heard.
I've just been so blessed. I don't know if it's because my personality's cute or the voice is cute, but I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so glad you could make. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. So,
Well,
before we start, well, we already started, but I came prepared. I got my headphones right here. You ready?
I'm ready. No.
Yep.
No. Okay, I want a pair. I have to get a pair. Did you get those on Amazon or Temu?
So, I often go thrift shopping and antique shopping, and I found these at a vintage toy store in St. Clair Shores, Michigan, up by Lake Huron. And I was like, I have to get these.
Oh my gosh. I have to have a pair of those. I'm going hunting. I'm going on the internet and I'm hunting for those.
Well, I have good news for you because
Yes.
I sent these to my good friend Sam Vincent. He has a pair of these too, and I think he's gonna hook you up with a pair of these.
No. Oh my goodness. Not only do I get Penny Ling ear headphones, I get to see Sam Vincent. Okay. You're like a magic man. Thank you. Sam is one of my dearest friends. I adore him. So I can't wait to see him. We're gonna have to plan lunch or dinner.
Usually, when I do these interviews, the first question I always ask is, "What was your first ever voiceover role?" However, this time I think I actually know your first ever voiceover role. So
Ooh.
I'm gonna take a crack at it. You ready?
Okay, yeah, lay
Was
it
it
on me.
was it Sabrina the animated series?
You're amazing. Yes. Yes, it was. Yes. And there's a really funny story to that as well, too, if you want to hear it.
Yes, I would love to.
Okay, I'm going to name drop mercilessly through this whole interview. But I moved to Vancouver in when I moved, I think, 97. I moved in 1997. And I got a job as a cocktail waitress at a very popular cocktail bar. One of our headline acts was Michael Bublé. And it was before he was famous. He was very, very young. And so lots of people would come, lots of famous people, lots of athletes, whatever. And one day I was working and all of a sudden Leslie Nielsen walked in. Do you know who Leslie Nielsen is? He did
Yes.
Airplane. Yes, yes.
Oh my
And
God.
I know. And I was like, so, because he was elderly at that point. I'm like, what is he doing in this really loud nightclub? And then I saw the person he was with, and the person he was with was Steve Savage Holland, who is a famous director. And I was working with him at that time in Alberta. And he was so shocked to see me. He was like, Jocelyne, what are you doing here? And I literally said out of my mouth, and this is a bold-faced lie, I still don't know where it came from. I said, I came to Vancouver to be a voice actor. Look, that's not true. Like, I was here doing TV and commercials and movies. I had no idea what voice acting was or even that there was a community here to do it. And he's like, no way. He goes, I'm working on something, Sabrina, the animated series, Teenage Witch. And he said, you're coming in next week. And I was like, it just blew me away. And so I went to the studio the next week. I walked in the room. I didn't know anybody there. But now I know who they are. We had Chantel Strand. She was doing Sabrina.
Oh my God. Yeah, Chantel's so hang on just a minute. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah,
Chantel Strand is just amazing.
amazing.
In that show, she voiced just about every character in that show, and it's just amazing how she can go like back and forth like between characters.
And she was a child at that time too. When
Yeah.
I knew her, right? Her mom, because she was so young, her mom would have to wait out in, the lobby because she's a child and she's worried. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? Jay Brazeau was there,
Mm-hmm.
who's super comedy heavyweight, and Kathleen Barr. And there was some,
Oh,
yes. And all of a sudden, so it was a prelay. So we're all doing our parts at the time in the script. And my part came, and I was so bad. I didn't know the art yet. I had no, because I was studying, TV and movie acting where everything was like everything's very realistic, like it's not like bold and bigger. And Savage kept on saying, Jocelyne, bigger, bigger, bigger. And I was like, I can't go bigger. Like what? And then one of the parts was taken away from me during the lunch break because I obviously couldn't do it. I didn't know the art. I was like, oh my God. And most people would have been so embarrassed and said, I'm never doing this ever again. But I had so much fun. And more importantly, I saw the talent that all of these actors had. And they were way more talented than the actors that I had been working with in TV and movies. Everybody had a theatrical background. And they were so kind. I was like, I have to learn how to do this because I want to be a part of this world. And I worked really hard to control my voice and mic technique, like all the things they don't tell you, like there's so many things that go into voice acting. And yeah, and that is my first foray into voice acting.
that's awesome. And go Sabrina, that was Deacon Entertainment, which they came out with a lot of good shows because most of the shows used the Vancouver voice actors. Um,
Yeah.
and my question about Sabrina, did you just do that one time role or were you in multiple episodes?
That was just my one time. I mean, I love Savage had hired me later on for like a live action part in a TV show, but I just wasn't strong enough at that point to even do the work. So I know that was my only foray into it was that one part at Sabrina. And then my agent clued in. She's like, "Oh, well, this is a thing." And then I started getting sent out to lots of auditions, and then that's when I found that anime world.
Oh, yeah, anime. And we'll get to that in a minute. One
Oh
other thing
yeah.
I gotta say, this is a major problem with Deacon Entertainment, a lot of their older shows. So I like to try to find the footage of the
Oh,
characters, the actors, like you, for example, voiced in these shows. However, for like the 13 or 26 episodes that made up the whatever season you guys were coded in, what they ended up doing for the credits, they just made one credits for each episode, and all of your names were just listed under additional voices.
okay, okay.
Yeah, so it's challenging to find what character in particular you voiced.
On the Sabrina,
Yeah, yeah,
it was an incidental character. I know the character. I was supposed to play twins,
yeah.
but they took that away from me um, because there was no way I could modulate my voice. I wasn't strong enough. There was no way I could modulate my voice to do two kind of similar but different voices at that point. That's a whole entire skill. Like you were saying, Chantal could do it like amazingly. And I just wasn't there. So, and it is so long ago. I can't even remember the character I did. It was an incidental character. I think she might have been a journalist or something. But yeah, an announcer or something. Yeah, because I remember I was announcing and they wanted me to do, they said a baba waba voice, like a speech affectation. And I was like, I was like, I don't even know the reference.
So if I find the clip, I'll be sure to send it to you. Go
Hey, yes.
because it happened before. So another show, another Deacon Entertainment show, where they did the same thing as Madeline. I'm sure you've heard of that show. Um,
Mhm.
because Andrea Libman was in that show, and Chantel Strand also voiced just about every character in Madeline, and Sam Vincent did an incidental in Madeline, and I was trying to find his character, and I eventually found that he voiced the elf in the Christmas special.
That's cute. It's hard, isn't it? It's hard picking up. I mean, my voice is pretty unique and I don't really kind of modulate it too much. It's kind of this is it. So if you hear this voice, then that's me.
Mm-hmm. All right, now I think it's time to get in the anime world. So, you worked a lot with the studio Ocean. So, how did you get involved with Ocean?
So Ocean was an audition, like a formal audition, and I was super prepared because of my experience on Sabrina. I was like, oh, I'm going in, and I knew mic technique at that point, and I was really eager, and I knew how big you had to go. And so my first audition, I was very fortunate. Pretty sure my first audition was Escaflowne, Vision of Escaflowne, and I got that. So I got Merle, the little
Oh,
little
wow.
cat human girl who was Lord Vaughn's protector and yeah, best friend.
That's so cute. So here I actually came prepared again. I got the list of all of your voiceover roles. Another show you've done. This is an anime that's underrated, and I really enjoy it. You're in Trouble Chocolate. Remember doing that show?
Trouble Chocolate. I remember that. Yes, that was lots of fun. That wasn't a long show, but yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, you voiced. I think your character's name was Wheat, and she was like a newspaper reporter for like the school newspaper or something like that. I think so.
It must have been, yeah. That one I would be hard pressed to remember. I would have to go back into my files, see, because I usually keep like a little memento from a show. I usually keep a script or
Yeah,
something. So yeah, I'd have to go down in storage and see what character I played on Trouble Chocolate.
yeah. And of course, the two main characters was voiced by Richard Ian Cox and Nicole Oliver, who are just amazing. I've had Nicole Oliver on my show as well. She's one of my favorites.
Oh, Nicole's amazing. She's a giant in our little community. Yeah, very, very talented and very supportive of newbies and her peers. Love Nicole.
Mm-hmm. My nickname for her is the Princess because she's Princess Celestia.
Oh, I love that.
All right, so we're gonna jump right in here into the big one. You ready? Here we
Okay.
go. It's Hamtaro time.
See your penny ling, and I raise you a penny ling. Not penny ling, Penelope.
Yeah,
Too many
yeah.
keywords.
I have
Penelope.
Penelope too.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Look at it. I remember because you sent me a picture that you had this, and I was like, oh, I'm going to surprise him and show him that a fan gifted me one of these. And I'm so grateful for it. It was such a sweet surprise when it came into the mail. It wasn't nobody addressed their name or anything. They just, yeah, my little.
And didn't they send it? Did they send it like from Japan?
They must have. Yes. Yes, it was. Because I think it's the same person. I don't know if it's a lady or gentleman that sends me birthday cards, these beautiful birthday cards. And they put all the stickers of all my characters. I don't know where they find this stuff. And it just brightens, my birthday when I receive something like that.
That's
I love
so
it.
cute.
It's so cute. Yes. And my little Penelope, or Pilo, as she's called to her friends, we was probably one of the very few jobs that I just got. I didn't have to audition for her.
Really?
No, yeah.
Yeah, so share that story. How did it just get the job for Penelope?
Well, I had been working with Ocean on Vision of Escaflowne and a few other things. And this role came up, and they were like, we don't know if you want it because it's just one word. She doesn't talk. I'm like, oh, and Carl, who's the director at Ocean, or usually does most of them at Ocean. He's like, I understand it'd be great if you could do it, but we understand if you don't want to, just do one word. And I thought, what a challenge to have to like emote, but only say one word. And I loved it. And we got in there. And the first few episodes, we did UQ. UQ, UQ. Well, the guys, the executive producer said, we've got to change it because it sounds like a naughty word. UQ. Like, I know. I was like, oh, I never even thought of that, right? I was like, I hear it now. And then we went to equi. And so it was equi. And then that was too strident. I don't know if they didn't like that. And then they went to uqui. So it was uqui. Or maybe it was the other way around. Anyway, it changed like 3 different times. And yeah, it was so much fun to do. And I was exhausted after voicing Penelope on Hamtaro because you're using your whole body to try and emote and try and say what you want to say, but only in the confines of this one word.
Mm-hmm. Penelope was by far the cutest character in the entire show. One of my favorite episodes, there was this episode where they were playing hide and seek, and Penelope was trying to find a hiding spot. She's just running around. She's like, wee.
Is that the episode where she fell in the hole?
No, that's a good one too. So that's the one where she runs away with the pig. She becomes friends with Jingo's pig.
It's my favorite episode. It was so funny to voice that.
It was so cute. Like, and it was funny that the Ham Hams found Penelope and the pig and Jingo, and they were trying to get her to come home, and she's just all angry. She's like, "Ooh, wait, she's not coming home."
It was so, and that one was so great because it was kind of like a Penelope episode. So you could do a little bit more, but I loved it. And then when the pig dropped his tail in the hole, and oh my gosh, it's hysterical. Love it. Favorite episode.
And so another Penelope episode, this is honestly probably my favorite episode of the entire show. So there was this episode where Penelope makes a friend with a boy named Ethan, who was voiced by Kathy Westlock. Kathy, you're amazing. We love you.
Juggernaut Kathy Westlock. Crazy talented.
So they bonded, and Penelope in the episode, she wanted to get her new friend Ethan like a gift. So she picked out like a little flower with a sunflower seed, and he never realized that it was a gift, that Penelope was trying to give him a gift, and she was all sad.
I know. And I feel like that. Have you ever been in a situation where you just want to talk to somebody and you only have a little window and you just want to get it, and then it just falls apart and you're like, that didn't go how I wanted it to go?
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and especially if if you meet somebody like that, like your idol, and you can't say what you want to say to them, or or it falls flat, or they're a jerk, or somebody else gets in the way. Yeah, I can resonate with that.
Trust me, I'm not gonna say any names here, but
Okay.
I've been to many Comic Cons across the US. There was a couple, thankfully just a couple of voice actors who are really big, have big egos, and think they're better than everyone else, unfortunately.
I've never understood that. I've never understood that. Like, I've worked with some incredibly talented, very famous people, and usually they are so kind because they understand where they are and who they're dealing with, and that we're all like kind of like, oh wow, like you're a big deal, and they're like, no, I'm just human, I'm just me.
Yeah.
And those are because that's what it is. This is just a job. It's not like
And that's why I love the Vancouver voiceover community so much, because you all seem like a genuine family. Like not a single person I met up there has like that ego. They're so just friendly and just warm, and I just love everyone in the Vancouver voiceover family. You, Kiawazane, Sam Vincent, so many great people.
Oh, I agree. And I've worked with many of them, and I've never had a bad experience at all, ever, with anybody that I've worked with in the voiceover community in Vancouver. Everybody is so gracious, so talented,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just such a joy. It's criminal that it's a job half the time, because you're having so much fun and learning so much about the craft.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. And one other Penelope episode I have to mention. Do you remember the one where Dexter and Howdy were looking after Penelope, and
Yes.
they were fighting so much? They were just here. I got another plus for you. They were just doing it for Pashmina because Pash.
Yeah,
Yeah,
voiced by the incredibly talented Tabitha St. Germain.
so okay. Tabitha St. Germain, fun fact about her, she was my biggest inspiration to get into voice acting, one of them.
Oh, absolutely. I think the second voiceover prelay that I had done, Tabitha was there, and that's when I was like just mind blown that this woman could voice children and a grandmother within seconds. Like, yeah, yeah, she's definitely the matriarch of this community,
Because
I
just
would say.
yeah, her energy in her performances just blows my mind. She's so freaking funny.
Oh, it's and in person, it never ends. Like, she's just a genuinely. I mean, she could be a stand-up comic if she wanted.
Yeah,
So funny.
I would
Yeah,
watch that. I would watch that.
I would watch that. I would watch that. We should make it happen, Gabe. We should be
Yes,
like, come on,
yes.
get
Well,
on stage.
first thing we need to do. So, I'm sure you'll be on board with this. I told Kiawazani she's on board with it. We need to bring back Hamtaro.
Oh my gosh, we do. And I mean, I don't want to give too many personal details about myself, but I have a young daughter, and she just when she was old enough that she could understand what I had done, she devoured Hamtaro. She was just, yeah. Can we watch another one? Another one, another one. So yes, I would be on board for sure for a Hamtaro reboot.
So, anyway, I always back to Pashmina. I loved how Pashmina was always kind of like the big sister to Penelope. She always took care of her. It was so cute.
It was so cute. We were kind of like, exactly like you said, like she was my big sister. She always took care of me. Yeah.
Mhm. And another question I have: what do you think is under Penelope's like ghost costume? Because I don't think they
Yeah,
ever.
you're so naughty. Well, what does it look like? It looks like just she's just all hamster.
Yeah,
She's got like a white belly and she's brown around, but this part she's all white and she's got a little tail. So I think the blanket is
yeah,
because she's a baby, and it's her little safety binky, and it makes her feel safe. And
I like that.
yeah, it makes her feel safe and happy, and it probably helps her when it rains out because she doesn't get wet.
That's so cute. And something else I gotta show you. So I still have the original tag. This tag says that Penelope's birthday is a March 3rd.
Oh, I didn't get a tag with mine. Let me see that again.
Okay, yeah.
It's her
It gives like
birthday.
a description about the character, and it says her birthday is March 3rd.
She's a Pisces. Well, that makes sense because Pisces are the sensitive
Mm-hmm.
people of the zodiac. They're the dreamers,
Mm-hmm.
and I that makes perfect sense that she is Pisces.
So hear me out. I'm gonna blow your mind. My birthday is
Okay.
March 5th.
No. Okay, well, of course you're a Pisces because you're very sensitive and sweet as well. Oh my goodness. That does. So yeah, you can resonate with little Pilo.
Yes, trust me, I'm very sensitive. I'm on the autism spectrum, so I'm very sensitive.
Yes, yeah. I think it's really it's a tough world out there sometimes, you know. And I can remember coming home sometimes and just wanting to cry because there's just so much going on, and people seem to forget their manners, and their opinions seem to matter more importantly than having manners and thinking of others and being thoughtful.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I can definitely resonate with a sensitive soul, you know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
A
And we'll get back to the sensitive characters a little later.
little later, oh, look, I might have the
Okay, all right, we'll get to that later though, because I still
that's
got
later.
a
That's
couple
later.
things about Hamtaro. So another character, this is an underrated Hamtaro, I said Hamtaro character that you voiced. You also voiced Sparkle. Remember voicing her?
No. Did I?
Yeah, you voiced okay, here. Now I gotta look.
Okay.
So Sparkle was a character in the show. She was a pop singer, Ham Ham, and she was freaking nuts. She was nuts. So
Okay.
let's see.
Yeah.
Hopefully the mic can pick it up, but I'm gonna play it into the mic, and let's see if you can hear your voice, okay? Because this is definitely your voice right here.
Come on. Sure, you want to know? I promise I will let it go to my head.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. Well, there you go. They gave me yeah, that just blew my mind. You just blew my mind. Yes, that is, I mean, you can't deny it. Like, I have very distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's me.
You know how I knew it was you because it sounds like Penny Ling when she gets upset.
I know. Poor Penny Lee. Yes, yes. Another sensitive soul.
So so Sparkle, like I need to send you the link to that episode. She only appeared in 2 episodes, which is sad because her character was hilarious. She was nuts. Like she got super jealous over everyone. Like she got super jealous. Like in that clip, she got jealous over Biju over her looks.
I love it. And I think Carl probably gave it to me because I was just being sweet, you know, Penelope all the time, right? And then I think he said, let's see what you can do with this crazy character. And yeah, so that was lots of fun. It's always uh more fun when you get to voice something out of the normal wheelhouse that you usually do, and you get to kind of stretch. And Carl gave me a couple that he gave me one in Ranma, uh, 1.5. I was a scribbled panda, and it was the same kind of like crazy, you know, just unhinged. And that was lots of fun to do that one. So yeah, so Carl heard something in my voice and he was like, you know what? Let's see how nuts you can be.
Mm-hmm. So the first episode that Spoker was introduced in, so basically, Spoker has a human, like she's a human pop singer owns her, and her name is Shimmer, and she's voiced by the incredible Kelly Sheridan. Um,
Kelly, Hitomi. Yes.
yeah. So anyway, in this episode, the Ham Hams were trying to be her friend, and she was like, "I'm a pop star. I can't be friends with you guys." And eventually, like the Ham Hams, because they're so weird, they freaking drove her crazy. Like they drove her to madness. It was so funny.
That is funny. I'm gonna have to, yeah, send me the link. I'll definitely rewatch that episode because I watched them all the ones that were on YouTube that were available a few years ago, with my daughter. And so yeah, we'll have to revisit it.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And one other character you voiced in Hamtaro, you might not remember this one either because this is another small role. You voiced Pashmina's owner. Her name is June, I believe.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, the show is about the hamsters. It's not called Human Tario, so no one cares about the humans in the show.
No, I mean, it was a nice kind of framework to have that
Yeah.
they all had owners, but they all were their own little club. It was a
Mm-hmm.
great idea for a show. Super cute.
Yeah. Well, except I shouldn't really say that. No one cares about the humans except for Loa and Kana. They were the two main ones.
Yes, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were in every episode, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, they were in every episode. Loa was voiced by the incredible Moneka Story. I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Okay.
Yeah, and I forgot who Kana was voiced by. But so fun fact. So I believe you were in Inuyasha as well. Um,
Yes.
do you remember who you voiced in Inuyasha?
Oh gosh. Her name started with a shin. Was it a shin? It was one of those really small parts that I just came in and did. I would come in and I would just do a handful of lines every time. And it was really kind of Inuyasha it'd be like they'd be months apart from each other too.
Yeah,
Like
it
it
was.
wasn't very, yeah, it's kind of hard because you don't remember the ones that you kind of just come in and do really quickly, and you don't really get a strong attachment to because you're not doing them every week.
Mm-hmm. So, in Inuyasha, by the way, your character's name is Shinrin.
Okay, I knew it was Shin something. Yes.
Yeah. So, in Inuyasha, Maneka Story voiced the main character Kagome. And fun fact, I guess Maneka retired from voice acting, and she was replaced in the later seasons with Kiwa Tozo from Littlest Pet Shop.
Oh yeah, the monkey. Love Kira. Yes.
So,
Minka.
Minka, yes, Minka Monk, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, going back to Hamtaro, do you have any, final thoughts, like any other memories you want to share of working on Hamtaro?
Well, Hamtaro was probably one of my longest running roles as well too.
Mm-hmm.
I think we recorded that for at least 3 years, 3.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, it was sad to say goodbye because you never know as an actor, they don't tell you this is the final scripts or whatever. Like you kind of know because you know the original Japanese has only so many episodes, but they could produce more. Like you just don't know. And yeah, it was kind of a shock going in and saying, okay, this is the last kilo you're gonna do. And I remember being really kind of sad and having to go home and go, oh, that was so much fun. And because I learned so much acting as well too through her because I can only say that one word, but I had to emote sadness, happiness, being upset, all these emotions with just one word. So it was very, very helpful in my career as a whole.
And I would definitely say you succeeded at that because the episode I mentioned earlier, the one where Penelope became friends with Ethan, there was a part where Penelope saw Ethan with another human girl just ignoring her, and she dropped the flower on the ground and was super sad, and she let out a super sad ukri, and it was a super just emotional moment.
It is, yes, it's amazing. Some of the characters who don't even talk can just emote extreme sadness or happy. Like it's amazing. I love the form of animation because they can do things like that. Like if you had to do that in live action, it would be like, oh, it wouldn't be as powerful as you would do it in animation. Love the form of animation. Very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Definitely agree. So moving along, another show you did, you were in Mega Man in Tea. Remember doing that show?
Yeah, yay. Strawberry milkshakes. And she was a little maniac, a little rich kid maniac, wasn't she? Bossy, bossy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any experiences you want to share from doing that show?
Well, I loved doing a character that was I guess Merle from Escaflowne. She was very spunky as well too.
Yeah.
But she kind of only said, she kind of came in and would scream Lord Vaughn, and there was lots of action that I didn't have to vocalize. But with Yai, I got to take in my inner, if I can swear, my inner bitchy, and be like, I know, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can, so I don't want to insult if there's kids watching. Sorry, kids. But yeah, it's I loved her confidence and assertion, but she would admit if she was doing something, if she went too far. She was always, but I just loved her confidence and her friendship. She still supported her friends, and that's what I loved about Yai. She was more complex than the other characters I had played before.
Mm-hmm. And you were also in remember the Polly Pocket directed DVD movies?
Polly Pocket, yeah.
Yeah, your character was you voiced was it Evie, I think?
Evie, yeah. That was the first one that I worked that I met Nicole Oliver on.
Really?
Yes,
wow.
that was the first one that I met her. Yeah, that was lots of fun. That was my first role. Second, sorry. So the first prelay, because there's dubbing where the drawings are already, the drawings are there, and then you have to dub it in English. And then prelay, they draw the cartoon around your voice, so you have a little bit more freedom, which I've always liked. And so that one was a prelay, a rare prelay at that time in my career, because I was doing so much anime, so much dubbing, which I loved, because that's a whole other art to be able to match the little flaps and the rhythm, and exhausting. It can be very exhausting. And whereas prelay, you get to bring a little bit more of yourself, you can have a little bit, more leeway with things. And that was when, I did Evie, and the best thing I remember that is meeting Nicole.
Yeah, because even though you guys worked together on projects in the past, it makes sense you haven't met her in the past because anime is done separately.
Got it. Exactly. You would meet if they were the next actor up in the studio. You could kind of meet in passing, right?
Yeah.
But I think of when I did Vision of Escaflowne, Brad Swale was Vaughn, and I mean we did hundreds of episodes of that, and I think I met him maybe only once.
Wow.
I'd meet Kelly Sheridan all the time, though. I'd see Kelly all the time. I just fell in love with her. Kelly she's sweet, and she's so talented, and she does theater. She's an amazing talent.
Kelly Sheldon was, of course, the voice of Barbie. Oh, Ken, I'm Barbie.
It was her voice was so Barbie. It still is so perfect. Yeah.
And weren't you in one of the Barbie movies as well? Barbie as Rapunzel, you were in, I think.
You're just an encyclopedia of the anime world game. Yes, I did Lorna, and that one I loved because that one I got to work at Dick and Rogers studio, which is a different studio. I hadn't worked there before, and amazing. It was a great studio to work at, and I remember working with a little kid, and I just thought it just doesn't get better than this.
Mm-hmm.
He was really, really little. And I was like, oh, it was just so much fun. Because he was so excited to be there too. And it was like, I'm, twice as old as you, and I'm super excited to be here too as well, and that was lots of fun.
Also, I just gotta make a joke about the name. Creative title, you guys, Barbie as Rapunzel. What's next? Barbie as a McDonald's employee.
They've done it all, haven't they? Barbie's been everything,
You can be anything. That was the slogan, I think.
I think it was. Yeah. And she was a mermaid. She was I didn't watch all of them. I hadn't had my daughter that was in their heyday, but yeah. And I grew up with Barbies, love Barbies. So that was another thing about being on the Barbie show, that I was just like, yes, my inner child was so excited to be part of the Barbie universe. I loved it.
I love that. And another show you were in, this show is very underrated. You were in a few episodes of Being Ian. Remember that show?
I do remember being in. I was Tiffany, wasn't I?
Yeah.
Yes.
The cool thing about that show is it was created by Ian James Colette, who is an incredible talent. And it's so cool because you don't see voice actors getting their own shows too often.
No, very rare, very rare. But yeah, he's super talented, and he can wear a whole bunch of different hats. If you can wear a producer hat and a director hat and a talent hat, well, watch out. But yes, I remember that, and that was the first time that I worked with Terry Clausen, who is a huge director here as well, voiceover director. And he's so funny. Terry is just a lovely, lovely individual. And he's so supportive of actors. And he always brings out the best in actors. And he just knows how. He's like, just try it this way, do it this way. And yeah, and that was the first time I worked with him. And he is like, Tiffany. And then I got to be, I think Tiffany was awful. I think she was totally spoiled and just was kind of a jerk.
Exactly, just like Spoker and Hamtaro, who I just told you about.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, two different directors, but yeah, they recognized that, and I was like, oh gosh, bring it on. I love it when you can play, those different characters, have different emotions.
Definitely. And another show you were in, this is another underrated show, okay? And I brought it up earlier, you were in Yakity Yak.
Was I in Yakity Yak?
Yeah, you were. Your name was in the credits, so you were definitely in the show. I don't know who you voiced though, because again, it's all grouped under additional voices, but you were in the show.
Because I love Yakity Yak. And I'm trying to think, because I remember doing Being Ian, and Yakity Yak was obviously prelay too. I'm going to have to go back into my storage. You've got me thinking now. You're going to make me go down memory lane.
Yeah. So they were both done by the same animation studio, Studio B, who's done a lot of probably the biggest animation studio out of Vancouver. Blair Peters and Chris Balderman, they're awesome too. So many incredible shows. But yeah, Yakity Yak is one of my favorites because I was telling you before, Lee Tockar, he was the voice of Yakity Yak. He is so funny and talented.
Lee's insane. He is, I mean, I've known Lee for many, many years. And if you see Lee Tockar, just try and go up and just stand there and just watch, because he is so funny. He's another one that would be a killer stand-up. Like he's just innately funny and so charming. And Lee is super sweetheart. And fun fact about Lee, which you probably know, he's an incredible artist.
He is, yes,
like incredible. Yeah. He could have made a fortune just being an artist as well.
So another show you were in, this one you might not remember either because this is also obscure. You were in a show called Firehouse Tales. Do you remember that show?
Oh my gosh, I know it's on my resume. Oh, yes. Firehouse Tales. That was at Cosmic Studios. I don't know if Cosmic is still around. I loved it. They're outside of their doors were like medieval, like from King Henry VIII kind of time, like very Tudoresque style. And I was like, ooh, what's in here? And there was actual kid. There was a young kid that was, and that was when I first was like, oh, us actors who voice young children, we might be in trouble, because these children that are coming up are incredibly talented, and I remember working, I don't remember his name, but he had such a cute voice. And he was just an amazing actor, because that's what they always say with voice acting. Sure, you got a great voice. Sure, you can do a million different accents, but can you act? Can you actually be this character just with your voice? And that's kind of the secret that you've got to kind of, yeah, work on. And he was incredible. And a child, you can't expect a child to be able to do all of that. And he was very gifted.
That's awesome. I love that. And Firehouse Tales, I remember watching it. It was on a preschool block on Cartoon Network called Tickle U here in the US. And the animation style was neat, I remember, because the fire trucks, they were all like 3D, yet all of the like backgrounds and human characters were 2D, which I thought was a very cool animation style.
Isn't it? It's so unfair. Because you do these, that you do, especially the prelays, you go in and you do them, and then it's just like months. Sometimes it can be up to a year before you actually see the final product. And then are you even going to have it on Canadian TV? Is it even going to broadcast? And if it is, how do you know? You know, like, you can't be spending all day looking at the TV. Your agents don't tell you. So it is kind of a mystery. And that was one of the shows I've never seen. I've never seen Firehouse Tales.
And I definitely agree with you, because there were some shows over there that you guys did that I never got to see till years later. Like, for example, Being Ian never aired in the US.
Yeah. Yeah, I never saw Being Ian. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a shame, you know? Like,
it is, yeah. And some productions way back in the day would kind of give you a VHS tape. I'm dating myself now of your work. Like, sometimes it would be very rare, but I really appreciated that, because a lot of us actors, we work off of what's called demo reels. So you want to see your work, right? Mm-hmm. And if you weren't there at the time and had a recording equipment, like now it's a little bit easier. But yeah, back in the day, it was really hard to capture your actual work to actually send to other producers.
Mm-hmm. So I actually recorded my first demo reel last year. I recorded it out in Los Angeles. I took some voice acting lessons. And that was awesome. That was a fun experience for the most part, because while I was out in Los Angeles, I was supposed to go to a convention as well, but they canceled it at the last minute.
Oh, boo. That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But then you go, yeah.
Yeah. So not only leaving me stranded, but like a bunch of other people who flew out to California just to go to this convention. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's not fair, because people pay accommodation, you have to pay for travel, you have to pay for your food. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. You have to take it off of work if you have a job.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. I've got a fun fact for you. So I work at an airport in South Bend, Indiana. Okay, and I am actually the voice of the entire airport. I do all of the overhead announcements. So if you walk in, you'll hear my voice like saying like, don't leave bags unattended and stuff like that. That's my voice.
Wow. How did you get that gig?
So I'm not gonna go too much into it, but let's just say there was a bit of corruption in the South Bend.
No. Corruption in Indiana? Oh, shudder the thought.
So basically at one point they had the superintendent of a South Bend schools doing the announcement, and he got terminated for corruption, I guess. I asked in the past, I was like, hey, I'm very into voice acting. You should let me do the announcement. And originally they were like, no. But then after he got terminated, they were like, hey, we need someone. You want to do this?
Do you ever go to the airport just to hear your announcements?
Well, since I work there all the time, just about every day, I hear it just every day on loop. And believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I get tired of hearing my voice sometimes because it plays so much.
You know what? That is kind of normal because especially if you're like in a booth for like a long, long time. What's the one role I did? It was her name was it was Galaxy Angels, and they were relentless. So usually you would go in like for 4 hours. They had a couple of sessions because the actual producers from the States were coming up. They had us do it for 8 hours. And at the end of it, I was like, I don't even think I could talk anymore. And they're like, why? Is your voice like, is it sore? And I'm like, no. I go, I can't stand listening to myself right now. I've never talked for 8 hours straight. Like oh. And you feel the same way.
Yes, I get it. I get it. Okay, so now I think it's time for the big one. You ready? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
It's time to jam out. All right. You think about all the things that you love to do. It all comes true.
Nice pipes, Gabe. Nice pipes. So this is the big one because I mean, I have great memories of all my characters, but Penny Ling was by far my favorite character. And the reason why she was my favorite character was that she reached out to so many people. I would get so many requests to, can you just call my little girl or my little boy on their birthday as Penny Ling and wish them happy birthday? And I did so much of those. And I had so much joy just talking to little children in the voice of Penny Ling and them actually believing that they were talking to Penny Ling. And because, you know, children can be really shy at that age, especially talking to strangers, right? And there's some savvy kids out there and they're like, I know you're not a real cartoon character, you know, but the kids that I had taught to like firmly believed it. And how magical is that? And that is one of the biggest reasons why I loved being Penny Ling was that.
And not only that, but you were the logo. You were the logo for the show.
I know. What about the pressure? I mean, everybody loves pandas, and she's so adorable. And yeah, I just love my little Penny Ling. I've got a few of these. This is my daughter's. You've got it too.
Yep, Penny Ling with the Penny Ling.
That is amazing. I just love it. I love it. So yeah, Littlest Pet Shop. It was so great. And I have to thank Terry Clausen, who is the director or voice director because when I was doing the audition, it was very scary for me because we had to sing a song. I'm not a singer. I'm tone deaf. And we had to sing, I think it was a Katy Perry song. Just a couple of bars because it was a musical. And I was terrified. I was like, well, I'm not going to get the part because I can't sing. And they said, we don't care about that. We can get singers to sing the character's song voice. It'd be great if you could. And then I did my first run. And Terry said, can you do it a little bit breathier? And I was like, oh. And just by doing her a little bit breathier, it brought her down a little younger and without being forced. And it just sweetened her up so much. It was so soft and sweet. And then I think it was a month later, I got the call. I was in my car and I had to pull over because I was so happy. Yes. Yeah. And then I was like, what about the singing parts? And they're like, they'll get somebody else to sing Penny Ling, right?
Yeah. That's what they did for Zoe Trent's voice as well. They got a different singing voice for Nicole Oliver as well.
Which is shocking because Nicole can sing. Like she can, like I can't, like because I remember the composer, I had to do like some speaking singing, so they would bring me in for that.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, Jocelyne, this note. And he had a little triangle and he'd go ding. And I'd be like, like my brain just doesn't compute. My brain doesn't take in notes. And I tried my best, but I'm not a singer. I like to
So
sing, but
yeah. So one question I had for you. So before we deep dive into Littlest Pet Shop, Littlest Pet Shop obviously was done by the same studio as the giant My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic. And I was wondering, did you ever audition for that show?
did. I still kick myself. Like, how could I not get on that show? I kick myself. It's like, what were you thinking? Um, I auditioned for the shy one, Fluttershy, I think.
Flutter, that makes sense.
I
Oh
auditioned for Fluttershy, and after I left the audition, I was like, you idiot! Like I wasn't doing, like you said, a deep dive. I wasn't doing a deep dive into the character, even though
my.
they're just cute little ponies, right? And I wasn't being shy. Like I was like, you weren't even being shy. You were just using your voice. Like you've got to be shy if you're going to be shy. And I was like, ah, but Andrea got that part, and she's incredible. It's just so funny. I
Mhm.
mean, the people who cast, they know, they just know. I've done auditions, like live action. I do live action. I do movies and TV, and I've had directors say, the minute you walked in the room, we just knew that you were right for this part. And I'm
Mhm.
sure there's been directors like, the minute you walked in the room, we knew you weren't right for the part, right? It's like that quick. It really is. And yeah, they just do such a great job on My Little Pony, and all of them are so amazing. But yeah, no, I never worked on it.
It's a shame because I would have
It
loved
is.
to hold your voice on that show. And I bring up that show because if you look up any Penny Ling video on YouTube, there's always a comment in the comment section that says Penny Ling is a lot like Fluttershy.
So you know what? I did. They saved my voice for something else, with
Yeah.
which is this little girl, which I'm so grateful for. So happy to be part of that community for sure. Littlest Pet Shop. I mean, the music, the show. Oh, it was so much fun to shoot.
Mm-hmm. And Penny Ling, I think, resonates with many people on the autism spectrum because you know, just like they resonate with Fluttershy, like many people on the spectrum, they're shy, and they're scared of getting themselves out there. But watching these shows, like hearing these voices, feeling these emotions, and seeing all these bright colors, I think it really, it's something special for people on the spectrum.
Well, that's what I loved about Littlest Pet Shop, is that we always had like a scenario that was very real life, and all different personalities, super sensitive people, bullies, outrageous people, Zoe wanting to be a superstar, and Pepper and her jokes,
Yeah.
and Vinny, like everybody had these aspirations to do things, but they all had to learn how to work together. And
Mm-hmm.
it is very important. But it is, I think people have to realize, when you're talking with somebody who's sensitive, you have to you have to be sensitive yourself. You have to get into that sensitive part of you, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
with Penny Lane, is like when I was crying, I couldn't just fake it. Like it's like, why is she crying? Like why is she upset? Like one episode when Pepper's doing jokes, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
making fun of her. Yeah.
yeah, like how many times have you been in a scenario where it's like somebody's making a joke and everybody's laughing, and you're
When
like,
they take
oh,
it too far.
yeah, and it's like, well, everybody's laughing, so it can't be a bad thing, but why do I feel really awful right now? And you have to be very, especially in school, when I was going through school,
Yeah.
I was very sensitive. I was very shy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it took a lot to be able to, like, I wouldn't even put my hand up in class to ask a question. Even if I wanted to know so bad, I was so shy. I couldn't do that. And if I spoke in front of the class, I'd get all red and embarrassed. And I think that is one of the reasons I even got into acting, because I wanted to in university, I did a public speaking course, and my knees were shaking, and I was like, oh my God, my voice was all choked up. I was like, I just can't talk. And I thought, that's stupid. I don't like feeling out of control like that. And so I took an acting class. Somebody told me to take an acting class, and I did. And it was so freeing, and everybody was so warm and inclusive. And I thought, I think I found my people. And I've never looked back.
I absolutely love that. And Littlest Pet Shop. Well, here, you know what? I just gotta show you these real quick. So I got the rest of the gang right here. So I got Pepper Clock right here.
Hello, Pepper.
And then I got this is probably my favorite plushie I got. Let
me see. Oh,
Russell Ferguson.
Yeah.
And then I got Minka Mark.
Minka! Oh, that voice was crazy, Kira did.
I know. It was so crazy. And then Peter New as Sunil.
Peter New, dear friend. Oh, he's another comedian.
And then lastly, we got the ever classic Zoe Trent.
Zoe Trent. So fabulous.
Anyway, I should have came prepared with this. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I have a thing to show you, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to drink a glass of water.
Okay.
We're having a little break.
And Kathy Westlock voiced this character.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes, she was.
Who was also insane.
That was insane. Yeah, she was that crazy bunny. Yeah, she can do anything, Kathy.
Yeah, and there was the other character, Sugar Sprinkles, who was voiced by Kelly Metzger. And she was so cute because, like, she was just so chill, I remember.
Of all the people that I've worked with, females, Kelly's voice, it's like butter. She's got that little rat. Oh, I love Kelly. I wish, if I could wish for a voice that wasn't my own, it would be Kelly's, because Kelly sounds like that naturally as well too. Like there is a lot of, you kind of modulate your voice, right? But like me, like you've been talking to me for the past half hour, like this is my voice, like I can raise it a little bit and soften it a little bit. But I mean, my whole life, people have been making fun of my voice, which goes back to being sensitive, because people would come up to me and they'd be like, is that your real voice? And it's like, what? Like, yes? Like, am I hurting your feelings by sounding like this, And then in live action, I really have to work on kind of just getting a little bit deeper, not so wispy, because it's hard to kind of hear sometimes. So yeah, it's a curse and a blessing.
Yeah, but that's not okay, people criticizing your voice, that's not okay.
No. People still do it. Like sometimes they'll mock my voice. And I'm like, oh, whoa, do you know what I do for a living? Probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah. Tell them that you got Gabe on the line.
Hello. I'll give him your email and go talk to this guy. Don't make fun of my voice ever again.
Exactly. Yeah. No one's going to mess with you under my watch.
I love it.
So anyway, going back to Littlest Pet Shop, my favorite Penny Ling episode, because this is just, I think, where the character shines the best. There was this episode where Blythe was designing all of the pets, their clothes, and like there was a mix-up, and Penny Ling got like a men's shirt or whatever, and Penny Ling hated it, and she had trouble telling Blythe that she didn't like it. So there was this one part of the episode so funny. She has this massive freak out. She's like tearing the chair in half.
Funny. That's funny. I remember that. I loved that they had that kind of the two opposite worlds of Penny. She's this huge, strong bear.
Yeah.
But she's super sweet and soft and gentle. But when she got angry, like watch out, you know. But it was very rare that she got angry. But if she did, she was probably more angry at herself because she couldn't express what she was trying to say, you know. It's so difficult. Like if you have like a friend and they're doing something that you don't like, but you love this friend and you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you have to say, hey, it's so hard. And I mean, you know, like I'm a woman of a certain age now, right? I still find it difficult to say, to speak up for yourself. It's because I'm so scared of like hurting other people's feelings that I would get my own, I would hurt my own feelings. And I think Littlest Pet Shop was really good in showing that no, if you're with friends, be brave, just say, hey, why did you give me this crappy outfit, Life? Like I don't feel good. Everyone else has got cute outfits. Can I have a cute outfit too, right?
Yeah. And I just want to give a shout out. Ashley Ball has probably one of the most just beautiful singing voices in animation history.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. She's she's got her own band. Like that girl is a talent to be reckoned with for sure. And she's such a sweetheart. You know, Ashley is definitely one of the more talented voice actors in the city and the kindest as well too.
And then I've of course got to give a shout out to Shannon Chan Kent, who voiced the Biscuit Twins. They were so funny. She would go back and forth. They would be like, whatever, Brittany.
She'd crack us all up. I would say of the kind of the slayers of the group for sure. Vinny, you know, Kyle, like he was just so funny. And unexpectedly so, because you're like, just Vinny, right? Like Vinny, like sweet little Vinny, right? But Kyle was so funny. And Shannon, those twins, come on. They should get their own award, the Biscuit Twins.
I know. It's so amazing. So I was in Indianapolis at a Comic-Con earlier this year, and I got to meet Shannon Chan Kent. She did the Biscuit Twins voice for me in person.
Oh my God. She did both of them?
Yeah, she did both of them.
She's so pretty. Shannon can sing too. She's a really talented singer as well.
She also did many of the singing voices in My Little Pony.
Yeah. But yeah, those, I loved the tunes on Littlest Pet Shop. They were done so well. They were so catchy. They were so different. They were so well produced. Amazing tunes. I wish that show would have went on forever. I know they did a different version of it afterwards. I hadn't seen it, but I think our version was just,
your version was the best version.
The best version. I mean, obviously, you know, I'm biased. But it had everything. It had the music and it had the stories, and we had so many different characters, and I think it was just limitless in the storytelling that it could have had. But
so I'm gonna tell you my favorite song probably from Littlest Pet Shop. I remember the episode where Blythe went to the museum and brought all of the pets to the museum, and they're at the dinosaur exhibit, and they're having that whole like imagination sequence being with the dinosaurs. So there was this song that's like Dino Pet to be a Dino Pet, that's just super catchy.
So catchy. Those songs could have been on the radio. It could have, because right now everybody, well, all the little girls are into the Demon Hunters right now, the K-pop.
Yeah.
I tell you, Littlest Pet Shop was right in there with those catchy songs.
Let me think of a couple other good ones. There was the one from the finale that's like communication breakdown. And then there was the one song where Blythe got sick. Where it was like a humanarium, and it was a parody of all the '80s songs.
My gosh, that's so funny. I love the 80s.
Well, it's one of the best well, I wasn't alive in the decade, so I really can't say.
Yeah, but it was. I lived through it, and it was pretty fun. It was pretty. The music, for sure. The music, the fashion, yeah, definite pluses. Lots of fun.
It was divine. I was trying to do a Zoe Trent type thing, huh?
You're a little bit of a singer. You can sing. You can hold a tune.
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you do any singing on your demo reel?
No, but I should have. If I see Lee, I might talk to him about that when I talk to him next. Yeah. So I did sing karaoke recently though. I sang
What'd you sing? What'd you sing?
I sang Mr. Roboto by Styx, and
oh, nice.
and I sang Man in the Box by Alice in Chains.
Oh, wow. Look at you.
Yeah.
Throwing down. Love that. Love both of those songs.
Yeah. Man in the Box.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What a great voice. He's probably in my top 10. Lane Staley. For sure, Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
Killer voice.
Yeah. So I'm a huge animation fan. My sister is a huge music fan. She collects records and she has all of that good stuff.
Me too. Right here, you can't see, but right here, I have my little record player set up and I have 2 huge bookshelves of just albums.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, my husband is a guitar player. Well, he can play any instrument, but he's in a band. And I mean, honestly, he's so incredible. And we just half the time he just will play us good. Like we don't even turn the TV on. He just plays and plays and plays. Love it.
Mm-hmm. All right. So to wrap it up on Littlest Pet Shop, what will well, do you have any other, memories you want to share of working on the show?
Any memories? Well, everybody loved going to work. It's so rare because when you do a job, any job, that everybody that you work with is so excited to be there, loves their work, and just wants to crack up their coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was so much fun to do that job, and everybody was so incredible to work with. Everybody was so unique. We had, I mean, trying to see. I mean, we would have other actors come in as well and do like incidentals. So I think almost every Vancouver voice actor walked on to that show, and it was just such a great learning ground to be part of that. And then if you did have to do a musical number, for me it was a huge challenge. Even if I was speak singing, I love that. I love the message of it. But going in every week and seeing, Tabitha, Peter, Kyle, Roger,
Kathleen Ball was in that show as well.
Kathleen Barr, who is my ultimate favorite voice actor in this town. Like she's just amazing. She was there when I first got into it. I think if there weren't those people on Sabrina, the animated series, I don't know if I would have pursued it as much. I think because when I went in there, I was so blown away by, Chantal and Kathleen and Jay's talent. I was like, they're not like this on normal TV sets, like this is real talent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so like, yeah, going into work and, and seeing Nicole and, Ashley and Shannon and Kira, like we were just kind of like a little family and we all loved what we were doing. And I think it shows when you watch the TV show. Mm-hmm. It shows that we were all really enjoying it and we really kind of all held our characters in a very special place in our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm trying to think of any other like memories, but it was just a very special experience. And of all of my voice roles, this girl here is my favorite.
I would agree with you, and this is a close second.
Oh, for sure. Well, look, I got their stuffies, but yeah, absolutely, definitely. And I'm trying to think of, I really did like Milfew on Galaxy Angels. I really liked her too because she was wacky and silly, and that was another really fun show to do. But nothing can take the place of these two.
Exactly. Yeah, those will always be my two favorite. And in fact, I got one other thing to show you. So I was in Wisconsin recently. Here, I gotta do the accent. You ready?
Okay, lay it on me.
I was in Wisconsin. All we eat is cheese curds and some beer.
Oh,
and I found this Hamtaro Japanese blind box, and you can see they have Penelope.
Yeah. Which one did you get?
So I bought two of these, and I got Hamtaro and Boss. I did not get Penelope, unfortunately.
Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of where we have a toy store here in Canada, and it's called Toys R Us. You guys have it in the States too, I think.
Okay, so sad news. This is another reason Canada is better than the US, because all of our Toys R Us is closed.
Oh, well, they're closing a lot of ours too, but not because there's not business. The one close to our place that we go to all the time, they closed because the lease was up and they want to put a big development in. But I used to get a lot of LPS stuff there at Toys R Us. But another place that I got a lot of it was because we live by the water here, right? The ferries that go to and fro from the island, Vancouver Island, to the mainland.
Yeah.
They would have tons of Littlest Pet Shop stuff. And my husband would always come, and whenever we take a ferry, he'd always buy me something. And I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, they used to have great stuff there. But I mean, I guess now eBay is probably one of the only other places where we can find this stuff, right?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it up here. It was such a pleasure talking to you, because you are seriously probably one of my favorite voice actresses in Vancouver. You're just so amazing. You're just so kind, and I relate to you about being shy and stuff like that.
Oh, Gabe, thank you so much. I'm so delighted. Thank you for finding me and asking me to be on this beautiful show. I'm so happy. I'm going to be walking on clouds.
And one other question I have before you go, do you ever in the future plan on making any social media?
Oh, this is a really good question, because I remember one of the producers of Littlest Pet Shop, he asked me the same question. And I want to give a very thoughtful answer. So social media is like a job. It's like, it's a lot of work, right? And if I was ever to do something like that, I would want to represent myself in the best way.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if I have the time to give it the proper credence. And then, I mean, I am kind of spunky, I'm kind of a mixture. I'm kind of a weird mixture of spunky and shy. And then part of me says, well, why would anybody care what little old me has to say on social media, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm on LinkedIn, but I don't really do anything on there. It's kind of like a one-way medium, isn't it? It's not very fair, right? But I mean, social media now, what is that? It's Instagram now, right? Like people don't do Twitter, do they? Or Facebook? Oh my God. It's not even Twitter anymore. That's how old I am.
It's X now, thanks to Elon Musk.
So I might do like a website, because I've noticed like some actors have websites where you can put stuff, and I might do that, because I do have JocelyneLoewen.com. I do have the domain, So I might, but it's a huge project. And, because I'm working so much and, my family life takes, I mean, my family life takes up most of my time, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I'm gonna say maybe dot, 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 dot. I don't know. But if I ever do, you're gonna be the first person that I say, hey, Gabe, tell all your followers, tell everybody that www.jocelyneloewen.com is live. I don't know. I mean, I guess I should do stuff like that. Like there's things like Cameo too, right? Like people,
Yeah.
yeah, because I did have so much fun telling little kids happy birthday in Penny Ling's voice, right?
Yeah.
So I would consider something like that. But honestly, it's a time thing with me. It's like I wish there was more than 24 hours in the day
Mm-hmm.
to be able to do that.
Definitely. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again for joining me.
Oh, we had a great time. Oh, thank you so much, Gabe.
All right. See you later.
Bye.